And we are live. Welcome to another Not Mainstream, September 15th, 2017. And let's get started. Early in the wee hours this morning, across the pond, I guess you can call it, there was a terrorist attack again in England. And it was a bucket bomb, apparently.
Yeah, very unfortunate. And it seems like England, they've had their share of terror attacks. I mean, we can go back to July 7th, 2005. There was a bombing in I think the tunnel. I think it was. So yeah, they've had it rough. They really have, and all our thoughts and prayers go out to the families and the victims' families, things like that. And yeah, we hope they catch the bastards that did it. You know?
Yeah, because the guy is still on the loose.
Yep.
They said that the UK terrorism threat level has raised from severe to critical. Theresa May, Prime Minister Theresa May. And what kind of controversy caused from that was that Trump tweeted that this was a terrorist attack, and the mainstream media went on the haywire, said, we don't know if it's a terrorist attack. We haven't got all the information yet. And then 15 minutes later, they had to issue a correction and say it was a terrorist related incident. And they said it was
really
a
surprised by the fake news media doing something like that.
No. Maybe if it was. Go ahead.
Remember Barack Obama, President Obama. You know, he was always the one who was hesitant to call these things terrorist attacks. And now we have a president that actually calls it for what it is. He called it out for what it is, and all of a sudden the mainstream media is all up in arms about it.
Yeah, and what's really surprising was that the London, I guess, police, you can call them, constables, whatever they call over there, they said it was a terror. They didn't use the word attack. They said incident.
Yeah.
It's just madness. It's just madness that they can't even say the word attack without being politically correct. Oh, that's going to offend somebody if we call it an accident, an attack. We have to say it's an incident. We got to be, the terrorists. Why? Let's offend them. I mean, why not offend the terrorists?
Really? I mean, why should we care if we offend terrorists?
Yeah.
I mean, the president called them terrorist losers. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Damn skippy they are. That's exactly what they are. I see nothing wrong with what the president said.
Yeah, I mean, everybody went on haywire because of the tweets. And let's see here. I think they said like almost 30 some people were injured.
Yeah. And yet we're all and yet the left and the fake news media are all they're concerned about is, oh, the president said something that might offend the terrorists. Screw the terrorists. Yeah. Screw them.
Exactly. I mean, come on, give me a break, people.
It seems like the fake news media is more worried about Trump's wording than they are about the 30 some odd people that were injured.
Yeah. I mean, and you see that all over Twitter and almost all over Facebook, that they're saying they're not really, having concerns about the people that was affected by that. All they can care about is Trump's tweets.
Yeah.
Just like with the hurricane, that was what Melania's shoes wore. It's got to the point that we can see the mainstream media for what it really is, which is horrible, god-awful people. And something needs to be done at this point. I'm getting sick and tired of it. Something needs to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, the First Amendment, it does cover freedom of press, but it doesn't give the press to lie.
Yeah.
And using that as political manipulation.
Well, all right. Yeah, there is freedom of speech, but guess what? There's no freedom from consequences for the usage of that freedom of speech, especially if you use some kind of incendiary words or language.
Absolutely. I mean, you have the right to say it, just like they have the right to fire you for saying it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Man, but what's next for England? Because they're having so many terror attacks out the wazoo. I mean, it's like every other day there's a terror attack in England, and the main cause of all the open borders, letting Syrian refugees in.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I mean, England definitely needs a revolution. They need to fight and take back their country. Because it's got to the point that they're going to end up like Germany and China and Sweden and all those other countries that has been affected by this whole mass migration of Syrian refugees.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate that there's see. I'll tell you, but the main problem is PC correctness. That's what it is.
Yeah, PC kills.
It does. I mean, did these people really think that a few words are going to affect how a terrorist feels about certain groups? Terrorists are already screwed up in the head. The terrorists are already screwed up in the head.
They're already.
What is a few words going to matter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where the left is like, hug a terrorist. You know, if you hug a terrorist, then
oh, Shane, you're breaking up. The damn Russians.
Yep. It's the Russians. Let me try. Good now?
You're okay right now, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm using the Brave browser. Really great browser. I highly recommend it if you haven't already checked it out. Let's see here. Get into some news that happened earlier this week. Cruz's Twitter account, and so apparently Ted Cruz, or maybe one of his staffers, a pornographic post on Twitter up in his feed. I don't care if the dude wants to do it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Am I good now?
You sound okay now. It's like every few seconds it'll kind of you'll sound robotic or something.
It's Google. It has to be Google. Russians that work for Google. Ted Cruz is in the news this week.
Yeah.
Is maybe him or his staffer like the pornographic post on Twitter?
Yeah. I'm wondering, but I heard that wasn't really true. That it really wasn't him. That it was probably a staffer or something like that.
Yeah, they said it. That's what I said. Either him or a staffer.
Yeah. So.
It's who cares at this? I don't care if it was actually Ted Cruz and he liked it. It's his business.
Yeah.
All right. It's his business. I mean, he should have been aware of it, that every time you like something on Twitter, it is for the public to see. But apparently he didn't know that. But yeah, everybody got all bent out of shape about that.
Well, it's because Ted Cruz presents himself as this Christian. You know, he's this what do you call it? He's this like paragon of virtue, as it were. He's supposed to be this big time, you know, evangelical and everything. So that's probably the reason for why everybody was so up in arms about it. That's probably the reason. So.
I didn't hear if Ted Cruz had a response or not. Probably said it was a staffer, or because that's usually tweets. But yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably a staffer.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to the big news that came out of this week that the Twitterverse is on fire about. Literally, I mean, you have people burning their MAGA hats, Make America Great Again hats, all because of this DACA deal, that really isn't a deal because nothing has been put in place yet. It's just all speculation. Trump is working with Count Dracula Schumer and Crazy Eye Nancy, which, again, my main concern is that they will stab him in the back.
Well, and I'll just say this about that particular issue. Listen, I think this president is still playing human chess.
But it's the art of the deal.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. The Republicans aren't going to help him out.
But neither will the Democrats. I mean, the Democrats is not going to help him out either.
But let's keep in mind, this president does not really identify as either political party.
Yeah, I consider him as an independent, and I do more of a Republican. I mean, maybe an independent conservative.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he always said during the campaign that he was going to work with Democrats if they were reasonable to work with him. You know,
yeah.
He's not reversing his position. He's not flip-flopping. He's not doing anything of the sort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he even said on Twitter that there wasn't a deal made on DACA. But some of the confusion, and let me pull up her account, is these two tweets right here, and hopefully I can pull them up quick.
Well, you know, some of these conservatives, they're panicking all of a sudden. They're reacting rather. They're being reactionary rather than being intelligent about this. You know, they're immediately, oh my God, he's working with the Democrats. Oh, he's a fraud. He's this, he's that. You know, no.
I mean, you have to work with all these people. As bad as I hate Count Dracula Schumer and Crazy Eye Nancy, if I was president, I would have to be forced to work with them, even though I don't like them. And what's really interesting was that there was an article reported, I think on Politico or maybe Daily Caller or somewhere, that there was a hot mic moment caught by Chuck Schumer, and he said, the president is just like us.
He likes me best. That's essentially what he said. Yeah. So yeah. almost like you know a child, you know, like kids, like Daddy likes me best, you know. So.
He's gushing over the president after 8 months of him saying Russia hacked the election. We must impeach Trump and all this bullshit nonsense that's going on.
Chucky Schmuggy, he's so disingenuous. He's such an asshole. I swear.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we need to hold Trump's feet to the fire. If we see him waning on any position that he made his promise on about the wall, about tax reform, about Obamacare, about this and that, we definitely need to hold Trump's feet to the fire and say, hey, you know what?
The thing is, what's really causing the confusion is this New York Times report. Mm-hmm. You know, we're really going to believe the New York Slimes?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've been preaching to the American people that do not trust the mainstream media at all. mainstream media at all. Wait until you hear an official statement from the Sanders or something like that. But again, yeah, we definitely need to still, if we see Trump trying to budge away from a promise that he made and kept on the campaign trail, we need to hold his feet to the fire. We need to hold him accountable. We need to speak up and say, "Hey, this is not what you promised us. We want what you promised."
Well, I completely agree with you. We should hold his feet to the fire, but I mean, in this case, I think he is doing what he is supposed to do. He's doing what he said he was going to do during the campaign. He said, "I'm going to work with these people, if provided that they are reasonable and that they don't go, way over the top in one direction or another or whatever." So I don't see where he is going back on his word on anything as far as this issue is concerned. I mean, Chuck Schumer claimed, or at least he was quoted as saying, "Oh yeah, the president's going to hold off on the wall." No, he's not holding off on the wall.
He's using DACA as leverage to get the wall.
And are we really going to believe Chuck Schumer?
Yeah, I mean, it's Chucky. It's Crown Chuck. It's Count Dracula, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, liars. And then you have Nancy Pelosi up there and say, "Ooh, the president really loves me and wants to work with us," and it's nonsensical at this point. But here's the
I think he's luring them. He's luring them in. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to work with you. Guess what? You got something. Guess what? You got to do your part too." Is what he's saying.
Yeah, but he definitely needs to watch out. He needs to keep his toes.
I think that's what Chucky Schmucky and Nancy Pelosi are leaving out. Excuse me. Is that he's requiring something of them just as they are requiring something of him.
Yeah, but Trump definitely needs to keep his nose to the and watch out, because these people, they will backstab him, and I'm sure he's aware of that.
Oh, he's not. Listen, he's not stupid. I'm telling you. Listen, he was a Democrat for many years. He knows, the thought process of people like Schumer and Pelosi. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
he's not fooled by them, I guarantee.
All right, and here's the tweet thing that he tweeted out, and this is the first tweet about no deal on DACA. No deal was made last night on DACA. Massive border security would have to be agreed to and subject for consent, would be subject to vote. The wall, which is already under construction in the form of new renovation of old and existing fences and walls, will continue to be built. And these are the two tweets that is having some confusion with this. Does anybody really want to throw out good, educated, and accomplished young people who have jobs, some serving in the military? Really, they have been in our country for many years, though no fault of their own, brought in by parents at young age, plus big border security.
Okay, well,
those two tweets.
Yeah, there might seem, to some, there might seem to be a little bit of a contradiction there, but it's really not. I think he did say
that we will work with the people that doesn't have criminal records and try to get them citizenship.
Well, there you go. He just wants to get rid of the criminal element.
Yeah.
If you've been in this country for a while and you have no criminal record or anything like that, I mean, of course, I know there are some hardline conservatives who are like, get them all out regardless.
Here, and I mentioned this last week with it. I think if DACA was a program to help illegals get on the track of the path to citizenship, that means take the test, pay the fees and all that. If DACA was like that, I would have no problem at all with it. If it'll help these people that were non-criminal aliens that were here, if it'll help them to get on the right track to path of citizenship, then I would have no problem with it at all. But as for, granting amnesty for almost 800,000 people to upwards of 3 million people that are here, yeah, I'm completely against it because those people, 9 times out of 10, half of them are criminals.
Yeah. I don't think Trump is doing that, though. I don't think this is amnesty. I don't look at this as amnesty. I mean, until I'm proven wrong, until we are proven wrong,
yeah,
I'm not looking at this as amnesty at all. I don't think this is amnesty.
Yeah. Because some people, they've already taken to Twitter and burning their Make America Great Again hats. I saw some of those videos, and the people in those videos don't look like your typical Trump supporter. And I don't believe those were actually real Trump supporters burning their Make America Great Again hats. I think this right here was a whole manufactured moment from probably, a George Soros person or a Twitter or somebody, paying these people to burn their hats or something like that.
That would not
to make it look
me in the
to
least.
make it look like Trump is losing his base. And in reality, Trump is not losing his base.
Yeah.
It takes something major for Trump to lose his base over. And that one major thing is probably have to be like, Obamacare, taxes, the wall. If one of those promises are broken, then that's when his base is going to lose all faith in him.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, I'm giving the president the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise.
Yeah, it's too early to do anything. It's nothing's been written, nothing's been signed, and Trump does have the power to veto it if he doesn't like it.
Yes, exactly. So hey, all of you Trump supporters out there who are kind of, a little iffy about it, relax.
Wait until you see a document coming from Congress and it has amnesty written all over it. Then that's when you need to go on the bandwagon and say, Trump, do not sign this at all. Do not give them amnesty. Hold the Trump's feet to the fire.
But until we see that,
yeah, you have to see a bill written from Congress.
There's just no need to make your own head explode. There's no need for your head to explode just yet.
We have to sing the I'm Just a Bill song so that people can be educated on how the bill works.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you, one of the best individuals that I follow on Twitter is James Woods. I mean, he is great.
Man, he is great.
He is great. He's always mocking these leftists. It's awesome.
He needs to have his own freaking podcast.
He does.
Or at least be on Hannity as a commentator from every now and then.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, speaking of which, Lauren Ingraham has her own show.
Yeah, Fox News. Let me take a step real quick. Yeah, Fox News is kind of shaking things up in their prime time because they had the 5 on at 9 Eastern. And it's getting creamed by the Rachel Maddow show in the ratings.
How is Rachel Maddow getting so many... Speaking of Rachel Maddow, I'm so glad... I don't understand how she's getting so much... I think the viewers are, like, fixed. I think they're rigged. I don't believe that Rachel Maddow is getting that many viewers. I don't believe that at all. Hillary Clinton was on the Rachel Maddow show, and Rachel Maddow, and this is 100% real. I did not make this up. I don't know if you saw the clip from Mark Dice, but Rachel Maddow stopped the Hillary Clinton interview to show a sneezing panda, and then as soon as they showed the sneezing panda, she went straight to Hillary and interviewed her. Never mentioned the panda again.
I have not seen that clip yet. I have not seen that clip. I have seen some stuff. I have seen some of Mark Dice's stuff this week, but I have not seen that.
Yeah, I saw that. And what's really funny is that the clip, according to Mark Dice, is that the sneezing panda is over a year old.
Hmm.
So maybe, well, Hillary Clinton was on there, so maybe that could have been like, her sedative for the night. If she says the sneezing panda, she'll calm down.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, we kind of went the long way around with this, but where we're trying to get to is that Fox News is they are shaking up their primetime lineup again. They're moving the 5 back to 5 p.m. Eastern, which actually that would make more sense because the name is the 5. So
yeah.
And they're moving Hannity to 9 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're putting Laura Ingraham, they're giving Laura Ingraham her own program at 10 Eastern on Fox News.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't understand why they're moving Hannity. They could have given Laura Ingraham the 9 o'clock time slot.
Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe they figure Hannity would be much stronger because Hannity probably is number 1 in his time slot at 10 Eastern. So he's probably defeating all the other.
Who's up against Hannity? Rachel Maddow? She's at 9?
No, actually, it's Lawrence O'Donnell on MSLSD. So I call him Looping Larry O'Dumbbell.
Oh man.
So yeah, I mean, you have on Fox it'll be Tucker Carlson at 8 o'clock Eastern. They're not changing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hannity at 9 Eastern and Laura Ingraham at 10 Eastern. So I'm not sure when.
Yeah, my main concern is with Hannity now. They're trying their hardest to get him out.
Yeah.
So, moving the time slot like that is really, really interesting.
Well, see, ever since O'Reilly left Fox News, I mean, they've really been in a tailspin. And plus, they're run by Rupert Murdoch's leftist sons too. So
yeah.
A lot of people are turning more to OANN now, One America News Network.
They actually pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, OANN, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even really turning to the Blaze because of Glenn Beck. Ugh.
Glenn Beck he's his kid, and so is the Blaze.
Yeah, Glenn Beck, I suppose, is conservative, but yet he's a nut. He's crazy.
He's bought off by the elite and the establishment. He's bought off.
Yeah.
He bought out to them.
Well, he's been a never Trumper for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, this is the same guy who put his face in a bowl of Cheetos and said, "Who am I? Who am I?"
Yeah, I mean, 2016 was the decline and fall of Glenn Beck. We saw a man, being mentally transformed into some kind of crazy person right in front of our eyes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's here. So this week, Trump visited the victims of Hurricane Irma in Florida.
It was yesterday, I think.
Which was, I think yesterday. He visited them yesterday. And, man, I'm surprised they didn't have any more backlash about that. I'm surprised they didn't say, oh, he wore the same clothes or what kind of lipstick Melania's wearing.
Oh, they'll find something to bash him for, I'm sure. As far as that's concerned, they'll find something to bash him for.
Yeah.
They always do.
Mm-hmm. And there was a viral video going around with a little kid mowing the White House lawn.
Yes, I
He
saw
wrote
that.
he wrote the president and asked him if he can mow the lawn, and Dictator Trump, hired child labor to mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, I'm actually surprised that CNN didn't say, "Oh, Trump is using child labor to mow the lawn. He could have used an illegal immigrant to do that."
Oh, I know. Well, no, the kid asked to do it.
Yeah, he wrote a letter to the president and asked to mow the lawn, and President Trump let him mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great.
Oh yeah, I think that's great too. I mean, the kid was essentially fulfilling a bucket list, a bucket list wish, I should say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you guys write the president, he might let you do something. I should write the president and say, if I can I clean the windows of the White House?
Yeah.
Anything? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's pretty much. Go ahead.
I don't know if you've been paying attention. There is this black rapper. His name is XXXTentacion.
Oh yeah, X, yeah.
And he has a new video called "Look at Me," where he talks about all this different all these different atrocities against blacks, and even one against whites. The one against whites was the recent where the young lady was hit by the car in Charlottesville, Virginia, a white woman. And then he's rapping. You can barely understand what the man is saying, by the way, in his little rap. And then yes, he shows a clip of him lynching a white boy.
Yeah, I saw that. So what Henry's talking about is that you see the rapper with two kids, one black, one white, and then he takes a noose, hang it around the white kid, and lynched him. What is the outrage in that? Where?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he done that to the black kid?
Uh-huh.
On him, every freaking race is named. It's a white kid, so it's fine.
Listen, if that had been a white artist doing that to a black kid, that would have been all over the fake news media. They would have been like, oh, "This is an outrage." Yeah.
Yeah. Then you have Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson coming out and saying this is an outrage and give me money.
Yeah. Yeah, where you at now, Jesse? Where you at, Al Sharpton? Where are you? Where are you, Black Lives Matter? We don't hear anything.
Exactly.
We're listening. Crickets? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Like, last week, I mean, you saw those looting in Florida, which, I bet they're freaking Black Lives Matters members.
Oh,
it wouldn't surprise me because, that's how these people are.
That wasn't looting. No, Shane. They were rescuing those poor, oppressed white shoes. They were rescuing the sneakers.
Because Henry, black people can't afford shoes, and they have to do anything just to get a pair of shoes now.
Yeah.
That's how these people are, and it's gotten to the point that you don't know what is satire and what is real anymore.
No, they were rescuing those poor shoes. I mean, that's what Mark Dice said they were doing.
They were rescuing them because, those shoes, I mean, oh man, imagine if it was TVs and PS3s and PS4s and any other electronic devices.
But they'd be rescuing those too, see?
They're rescuing. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just don't know anymore about. And you probably saw the Facebook post I posted about the iPhone. I mean, the new iPhone 10 is $1,000. You probably see people waiting in line for 6 months just to get one. I mean, I just don't know.
People.
I think that
people. Let me tell you, you can get a phone like this for $35. You can get a $35 a month card and a plan. You don't need a contract.
but
you
it
don't
doesn't.
need nothing.
But it doesn't have the face recognition.
Oh,
it doesn't have the fingerprint recognition.
Got to have the bells and whistles.
It doesn't have all the latest features, Henry. It doesn't have the wireless earbuds.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have this. It doesn't have that. Besides, why would you want a phone that recognizes your fingerprint and your face? That technology is ending up in the wrong hands right now.
That's Big Brother is what that is. With
exactly.
Phones that have fingerprint identification and face identification. That's freaking Big Brother. That's 1984.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Orwellian.
Exactly.
That's what it is. It's Orwellian.
I mean, anybody can use that face recognition and fingerprint recognition. And then not only that, you have some idiots have the GPS enabled 24/7 so they can track you wherever you're going. I mean, come on. Your privacy is not private anymore, people.
Right.
Your privacy is never going. I mean, they already know you're existed. They already know your location. Even if you turn your cell phone off, they still can be able to track you from other ways of technology.
Well, hell, they can track your IP now.
Yeah.
There's ways to track. I guarantee there's somebody tracking our IP numbers right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, why else would we have so much technical difficulties if there wasn't someone watching us and trying to suppress this video feed because the people doesn't want to get the truth out there?
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, we saw that this past Wednesday night with YouTube.
That is something we're going to discuss too.
Right now, we're discussing this right now. I'm bringing it up. It's a great transition. So this past Wednesday night, we did a Real Not Real on my other channel, looking for Bigfoot. And basically what it is, we look at videos and photos and other stuff and basically judge if they're real or not real, or undecided if we don't know either way. And, I had a great idea. Let's, open the show up, watching the fake alien autopsy video footage. And then apparently someone started claiming copyright content on that. I got a copyright claim on that, Henry.
Yeah. The thing is, that video is on YouTube. It's in the public domain.
Yeah. And plus, not only that, there was no sound to it.
I mean,
you clearly saw the YouTube website in there. I mean, this is how Google works. They have someone watching and monitoring, whether it's an AI or an actual person watching these streams, looking at these streams, and basically suppressing these streams so that they can't get out there, can't get to the general public, and censoring us. They're censoring us. And Wednesday night proved that there is someone always watching us during these live streams.
Well, the thing is, did they flag? My question would be: was the original content owner flagged for putting that video up in the first place?
Yeah, that is a great question, and I'm not sure. I mean, if they were flagged, then the video would have been on there in the first place.
Was the owner of the channel asked to take down the video?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that person can leave that video up and have it up there for, and you said it was what, 2015 when that was put on there?
Yeah, somewhere along there.
Okay, so 2 years ago, this guy put this video. This guy puts this video on his channel of the fake alien autopsy. Doesn't get flagged, doesn't get it taken down, nothing. But yet we present it on our show in a satirical, and we were being said satirical with it.
Yeah.
We made a couple of mentions of a couple of political figures. You know,
that's interesting. That right there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Right when we were talking about that, when we mentioned by name political figures, that's when they started flagging it.
Exactly. That right there is your prime example. I mean, and this is a live broadcast too. We don't pre-record anything, and still someone was still watching the broadcast, flagging the YouTube video, and basically what YouTube and Google Hangout does, if you're using unauthorized material, the broadcast will end. Right there, we was talking about political figures. Someone was watching. They started flagging. Google/YouTube responded. It's all interconnected. It's all interconnected.
Some little, I must have been some little snowflake who was offended. Oh, they're talking about Hillary Clinton. They're talking about Nancy Pelosi. How dare they say that about them? Oh, screw you. You little snowflakes.
You can't be satirical anymore.
Yeah. You little snowflakes, go on back to your little safe room with your crayons and your coloring books and your puppies. If you're offended by by political incorrectness.
Absolutely. I mean, and this right here is proof that YouTube is monitoring us and watching what kind of content we put out there and censoring that content, whether it be an actual person or an artificial intelligence algorithm.
Yep.
Because that thing got flagged pretty freaking fast. Because we was like 4 minutes in, and then I noticed the little pop-up. You using unauthorized material, you better stop it or we're going to end the broadcast.
See, it could have been somebody who saw one of our political videos, and then they realized we were the same people. They're probably watching and waiting to see, oh, are we going to be offended by something? Oh, yeah, if we get offended by something, we're going to report it.
Yeah. It just amazes me now. Just amazes me that satire. And here's the thing, the left, show, the Daily Show, 100% satire, 100%. They don't flag it. They make claims and say, "Oh, that's offensive."
But the host Trevor Noah is a mean-spirited asshole anyway. So.
Yeah, that show went downhill after Jon Stewart left. Yeah. And I'm not a big fan of Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is, funny compared to Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is not funny at all. But we better watch it, Henry, or else we're going to get flagged again.
Oh, yeah.
Left's golden boy, Trevor Noah.
Yeah. Here, this is what I got for you, Trevor Noah. I got one for you, all you little snowflakes.
Great show tonight. Henry's round up. Love it. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. Related stories this week. Let's go in. What happened on Monday? Monday was the 16th anniversary of 9/11. Thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and families and their friends and all that was affected by 9/11. And
I think
I'm surprised.
And I was very happy to see a president handle it the way he did. The way he properly remembered and commemorated the anniversary. Unlike Obama. I don't think Obama did it very well at all.
Yeah.
And of course the president couldn't be in two places at once. So the vice president went to Shanksville, Pennsylvania, Mike Pence. So I mean he was there.
Plus,
Mike Pence was there in the full capacity of representing the Trump administration. So
and plus not only that, Trump is the first U.S. living president that lived through 9/11. He was in New York at the time.
Yep.
So he knew everything about it. He knew all the first responders. I'm sure he helped in some way he could. So he's, I mean, that's street cred right there, and I love that.
I think he did give some money to some of these organizations surrounding 9/11. Even though it might not have been as well publicized. Because the thing is, Trump, when he does nice things for people, he doesn't like it to be publicized.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
Like that time when Rudy Giuliani told the story about him at the convention last year, about him paying off somebody's mortgage.
Yeah, he paid off someone's mortgage. He was also gave money to this kid with like some kind of bone disease that was on Murray.
Yep.
And then I think there's like one story, I'm not sure if it's true or not, that someone helped them fix a flat tire.
Yes.
And then and he paid them.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, he does some charitable work.
I've heard that. I've heard that story too.
Yeah. Yep. He does some great charitable work, and the Trump Foundation is absolutely no comparison to the Clinton Foundation. Foundation, they actually donate to charities and everything.
Oh, but Trump, but don't spoil the narrative. He's supposed to be this evil bastard who doesn't care about anybody else but himself. Oh,
he's a rich billionaire. How does he get the blue collar working vote? That rich billionaire. Trump appeals to the people who hate the rich.
Yep.
He's the blue collar billionaire.
He is not your typical he is not your typical billionaire at all. He would rather sit down with somebody at a Greasy Spoon diner somewhere and have some meatloaf or a burger than go and get whatever rich snooty whatever frou-frou food.
Caviar and all that other nonsense.
Yeah.
He likes, I mean, we see this all the time. He's either eating KFC or McDonald's. But
he's just an average.
Go ahead.
He's just an average Joe, just like all of us. I mean, he just happens to be a billionaire, but he's still an average Joe, and he identifies with the blue collar worker. He identifies with average American.
He just happens to have a whole lot of money. He just happens to have a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
He didn't want it. He just raised in that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to 9/11 quick, there's an article posted by the Daily Caller, and I'm going to read this in its entirety.
Okay. Because
I think really important, and it's very conspiratorial. Report: Saudi Arabia allegedly funded practice. New evidence in a 9/11 lawsuit against the Saudi Arabian government suggests that the Arab nation's embassy in Washington may have funded a practice run for the largest terrorist attack in human history. The Saudi embassy allegedly paid for 2 Saudi nationals who were living undercover in the U.S. as students to fly from Phoenix to Washington in a practice run for the 9/11 attacks, the New York Post reported Saturday. Sean Carter, the lead attorney for the 9/11 plaintiffs, says that the court documents show a pattern of financial and operational support for the 9/11 attacks from those inside the Saudi government. That there were long-standing and close relationships between Al-Qaeda and the religious components of the Saudi government, said Carter. The complaint alleges that Mohammed al-Qahidin, and 9/11 Habdin butchered those. Saudi Arabia's network of yes, according to cited FBI documents, and this is a quote, I'm guessing, from one of those documents. They had trained at Al-Qaeda camps in Afghanistan. At the same time, some of the hijackers were there. And living in Arizona, they had regular contacts with a Saudi hijacker pilot and a senior Al-Qaeda leader from Saudi, now incarcerated at Gitmo. At least one tried to re-enter the U.S. a month before the attacks as a possible Mosul hijacker, but was denied admission because he appeared on a terrorist watch list. Those two people I mentioned earlier, Kahedin and Salahi, both worked for and received money from the Saudi government, with Kahedin employed at the Ministry of Islamic Affairs. Salahi, while also a long-time employee of the Saudi government, were in frequent contact with Saudi officials while in the U.S., according to the filings. Back to the article. Police arrested both men in 1999 after an aircraft flying from Phoenix to Washington was forced to make an emergency landing in Ohio when the men tried to force their way into the cockpit in what was a test deck security. In a 2000 article featured in Politico magazine, Saudi officials reportedly admitted they misled the U.S. regarding the role in the funding of Islamic terrorism. And this is a quote from that magazine. We did not own up to it after 9/11 because we feared you would abandon or treat us as the enemy. The senior Saudi official told former U.S. official Zalmi Khalilzad. So 9/11 was the thing that started with me in the whole conspiracies, because there's something fishy that went on that day, and multiple conspiracy theorists claims that Saudi Arabia had some type of hand in the 9/11 attacks, and this report right here basically confirms that Saudi Arabia had some knowledge in this.
Interesting.
So what do you think about that?
Well, if it's true, I mean, then they obviously knew something was up. I mean, beforehand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, don't forget. I mean, it was Saudi terrorists supposedly that.
Yeah.
It was that supposedly hijacked the planes and everything. So there you go. We just
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they said Saudi terrorists allegedly hijacked the planes, but then they blame on Afghanistan terrorism and Osama bin Laden. They blame on that. I mean, like I said, I'm a big conspiracy theorist, and that right there got me hooked on conspiracies, and I wholeheartedly believe the government was somewhat involved with 9/11. I really do.
Yeah.
I believe Bush didn't do anything about it.
You what now? You kind of broke up. You believe he did or didn't?
I said I believe Bush knew, and he didn't do anything about it.
Oh, okay.
And plus, not only that, Bill Clinton had the opportunity to take out Osama bin Laden, but didn't do it.
Well, wait a minute. Let me take a sip. The reason he didn't do anything about it is because he was dealing with the fallout over the whole Monica Lewinsky thing. He basically told his staff, "Well, you handle it. I got to handle Hillary up here in wherever it was." Can't remember. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think they were at they were at one of their vacation homes, and Bill had to do damage control, as it were, with Hillary.
Yeah.
So
and now there's a report going around that Osama bin Laden's son is now taking data, which they should have, taken out his son, quite, the same day they took out him, allegedly.
Yeah. But, we were told that Obama supposedly took out bin Laden, or at least his administration did.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time believing it.
I know, exactly. And especially the circumstances surrounding it. I'm having a hard time believe it. Yeah, especially the circumstances.
Because if you guys remember, and I was little around that time, but I remember mainstream media saying that he's on his deathbed, he's got a dialysis machine up there in that cave, and what happened to all that?
There were those who have reported that he actually died in 2001.
Yeah, I don't buy that whole Osama bin Laden takeout.
Right.
And body doubles too. That he used a body double.
I've heard that too. I've heard that as well. Mm-hmm. I've heard that.
So the guy they took out might have been the body double and not actually him.
Yeah. Well, think about this.
I mean,
what they did with his corpse, they dumped it in the ocean. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Why not give him a proper burial? That was, you would. That was the least they could do for him, is to give him a proper burial. But no, they decided to dump him in the sea. I mean, that was just kind of fishy to me.
Mm-hmm. And they're not releasing the photos either of him.
Right.
They sent us some photos and.
It's been 6 years. It's been 6 years since that supposedly happened, and not one single photo has emerged.
Yeah, and then I'm sure the still team had cameras on. I'm sure there's video of that, of the whole raid.
There's supposed to be, yeah.
I mean, it's like locked in some vaults that no one can get it a hold of, and I mean, Trump has the power to make anything that's classified and declassify that. He needs to declassify Osama bin Laden raid.
And
I think if he did,
that's assuming it happened. That's assuming it happened the way they claim it did too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's pretty much it that happened this week.
Yep.
Not a lot of stories happened this week. I think this is just a wait and see moment right now, because nothing has been officially signed or been brought up in Congress yet. But let's go ahead and go to some local news. Henry, you got some local news with us?
I do. The headline reads: Mississippi National Guard continue Harvey and Irma relief efforts. The Mississippi National Guard is currently providing personnel, equipment, and facility support for Hurricanes Irma and Harvey recovery operations. Around 100 soldiers and airmen are currently in Florida, Texas, and several other locations around the country. Two 15-soldier Chinook helicopter crews from Meridian's 111th Aviation Regiment are in Florida to bring relief supplies to those affected. Some 70 airmen from Meridian's 186th Air Refueling Wing are spread throughout Florida, Georgia, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Colorado, and Texas. They are providing search and rescue, coordination, and planning support. In addition, over a dozen airmen of the 132nd Airlift Wing are assisting with supply distribution in Florida. The Flowood-based unit is also receiving aircraft from all around the nation, tasked with transporting supplies. Likewise, Gulfport's Combat Readiness Training Center and Battlefield Airmen Center has received aircraft from across the country en route to Florida. Our thoughts and prayers continue to be with everyone impacted from Hurricanes Irma and Harvey, said Major General Jensen D. Boyles, Adjutant, so hard word to pronounce, General of Mississippi. Our joint force will provide support as long as we are needed. So, some of our Mississippi National Guard is providing some support to relief efforts for Hurricanes Irma and Harvey, which I think is tremendous.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, and one of our own, Amy, wasn't as severely affected, but she is still without power and a few minor property damage. But thank the Lord she's safe, and her family and everybody that was affected. Thank God it wasn't as bad as they predicted it to be.
Yeah.
I think now they're worrying about major flooding in some areas. About it. So is West Virginia DEP to review Valley Pipeline certification. So some infrastructure going on. The West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection Division of Water Waste Management has made an abrupt about-face regarding certification of the proposed Mountain Valley Pipeline. The controversial pipeline, is a $3.5 billion project that will transport natural gas from fracking fields in northern along a more than 300-mile route to customers in southern Virginia. And on September 7th, Division Director Menandola sent a letter to the regulatory branch of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in Huntington to inform the Corps that the Section 401 water quality certification issued in March has been vacated and remanded, in other words, revoked. Scott explains that the action was taken to allow the Division of Water and Waste Management to determine if such certification by West Virginia is in compliance with Section 401 of the Federal Clean Water Act. Lawyers for 5 local, state, and national citizens groups have asked for a federal appeals court in June to overturn DEP's approval of the state authorization for the pipeline. The petition for review was filed with the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in Richmond, Virginia, and a response from DEP is due next week. Instead, the agency has chosen to walk back its approval. A spokesman for Appalachian Mountain Advocates, the environmental law firm in Lewisburg, West Virginia, that had filed a petition on behalf of the Sierra Club, declined to explain at this time how the DP's actions may affect the petition before the Fourth Circuit. In response to an inquiry from WVVA, DEP spokesman Jacob Glantz explained that after reviewing the appeal file with the Fourth Circuit, the agency decided that the original approval of the pipeline certification needed further review. Out of an abundance of caution to ensure that all aspects of the potential environmental impact of the MVP are considered, wrote Glantz. And the West Virginia DEP decided to vacate and remain the 401 certification. The West Virginia DEP will act on the MVP 401 certification as soon as the process is complete. Glantz also said that the general permit for the MVP pipeline has been suspended so that the DEP consider comments it received. Hopefully they can get approval on this pipeline. It'll be a great project, more jobs. It'll bring in some great bank for the state of West Virginia. And again, I have no problem with it. And I think we all can agree that, as long as it doesn't the air, the water, the wildlife, I'm all for it. I mean, who doesn't want clean air? Who doesn't want clean water? And who doesn't want to protect the wildlife?
Yeah. And, Sarah Palin said it best, drill, baby, drill.
Yeah. Something came to mind I forgot to post because this is about the whole laptop gate. And this is from the Gateway Pundit. Debbie,
what have you done? Debbie.
Debbie now. Imran A1. Breaking. Imran A1 downloaded terabytes of info to Dropbox may have sold DNC emails.
Oh.
So this is from the Gateway Pundit. IT specialist Imran Awan worked for Debbie Weissman Schultz for 13 years. 13 years? Oh my God. She was first elected to national office in 2004 as a Florida representative. She only fired him after he was arrested and would have kept paying for her IT expert even after he fled to Pakistan. The IT ring had access to emails and computer data from an estimated of 800 lawmakers and staffers. 3 Pakistani brothers who managed the IT affairs for several Democratic government officials were relieved of their duties in February on suspicion that they accessed specific computer networks without permission, also known as hacking. Imran Awan, working with Weissman Schultz in 2005, received $164,600 in 2016, with close as $20,000 of that coming from Weissman Schultz. His brother Jamal, who was working as a staffer in 2014, was paid $150,350.12 in 2016. Abid, who started working in 2005, was paid $160,943 in 2016. Imran's wife, Hina Alvi, who was employed as a staffer since 2007 of February, was paid $168,300 in 2016. Ray Boss was paid $85,449 in 2016. Abid, Imran, and Jamal Awan were barred from computer networks in February. Most of the House members fired the Awan subsequently. Schultz kept Imran Awan on the payroll up to the day he got arrested for bank fraud after trying to flee the country. The rest of the family fled since months to Pakistan, along with hundreds of thousands of taxpayer money that was mysteriously able to be wired. Democrats were willing or unwilling compromised by the Awan brothers, and sensitive information leaked to foreign enemies. Muslim Brotherhood, Yemen raid with a dead soldier, for example. Many of them have seats on committees that handle highly sensitive information. Last week, Capitol Police confirmed that Weissman Schultz's laptop was found in a phone booth at 3 a.m. with a note to the U.S. Attorney attached from Imran Awan. Now, this is where the story really gets interesting. Top Democrat Xavier Becerrita, the current California Attorney General, was caught giving officials a fake server related to the Imran Awan investigation. This is what the Daily Caller reported. Now indicted former Congressman IT aide Imran Awan allegedly routed data from numerous House Democrats to a secret server. Fishes and requested a copy of that server earlier this year, but they were provided with an elaborate falsified image designed to hide the massive violations. That falsified image is what ultimately triggered their ban from the House network on February 2nd, according to a senior House official with direct knowledge of the investigation. The secret server was connected to the House Democratic Caucus, an organization chaired by then Rep. Xavier. Police informed Xavier that the server was the subject of an investigation and requested a copy of it. Authorities considered the false image they received to be interference in a criminal investigation, the senior official said. Now a House official told Circa News that Imran Awan may have sold the uploaded info. Everyone is talking about Russia, but Awan could have been the one to have sold the DNC emails. The DNC refuses to hand over their servers to be investigated. If they really were a hack like they claim, they wouldn't be protecting their servers from authorities. And this is what Circa News reported. The House official told Circa that Awan was also allegedly uploading terabytes of information to Dropbox so that he was possibly able to access the information even after he was banned from the network. The official said there is a need for a full congressional investigation on the matter. I think this may lead to information as to who really accessed the DNCs. Everybody talks about Russia, but look at the access A1 had, and potentially those emails could have been sold, the House official said. This is getting juicy. This is getting juicy.
Very much so. My goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
But will anything come out of this? Will they take a plea deal? Will get prosecuted? Will Debbie Wasserman Schultz not get prosecuted? Will they all go to prison?
I don't know, but it seems to me that both of them are throwing each other under the bus on this issue.
Yeah, especially with Debbie Schultz's laptop.
Yeah,
found in a phone booth with a note. They're throwing each other under the bus. They're going to get trampled over that bus. Both of them are.
Uh-huh.
And Hillary Clinton is the one that's driving it.
Yeah.
Oh man. This another piece of out to town hall. New emails show extensive pay for play during Clinton time as Secretary of State. DOJ needs to get its act together and restart the investigation into Hillary Clinton. Yesterday, Judicial Watch released a new set of emails exposing former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and top aide Huma Abedin mishandled even more classified information than previously revealed. Also show extensive examples of pay for play, and the Clinton clearly used her position at the State Department to benefit the Clinton Foundation. Judicial Watch's President Tom Fitton detailed the findings during an interview with Fox News Friday morning. And this is what he said. It's email after email of Doug Fan, who was a Clinton Foundation top official, working with the Clintons closely, working with Huma Abedin to take care of favors for the Clinton Foundation donors. Fenton said, visas, Cuba, meetings in Singapore, and other types of activity like that. Black and white, I just don't understand why the Justice Department hasn't gotten their act together and reignite the investigation as to what went on there, because we all know Comey's investigation is a sham. They need to restart it up. I completely agree, but however, the Justice Department is full of Obama leftovers. Anything done. What Jeff Sessions needs to do is, off his rump and fire every single Obama leftover there is. Clean them out. Clean out the Obama leftovers. Once you clean out the Obama leftovers, hunt in, people that really want to see Hillary Clinton go to jail. They really want to see Comey get prosecuted because he basically already knew and obstructed justice. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't go that far, but I wouldn't be surprised if he obstructed justice. But hunt those people in there and get something done, and we'll see Hillary Clinton in the Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
But these emails that Clinton has and the whole thing that's going on with Wasserman Schultz, you think they're going to be interconnected at some point?
That's a good question. Who knows? I would love to see if they are interconnected. I mean, there's got to be something going on there. There's got to be
because
collusion, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe there's some collusion going on or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, and plus, if A1 did download the terabytes of data of those emails, could emails be on? This is going to get good. Unless somebody wants to stop.
Uh-oh, you're breaking up again. They're doing it again. I don't like what you're saying, Shane.
It's Hillary Clinton. I have to please Hillary. Hillary.
See? You start talking about Hillary Clinton there. They're doing it again.
They're doing it again. What? I said I loved her book. I loved Hillary's book. Inspirational. Maybe they know I'm being sarcastic.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of Hillary's book, apparently Amazon is wiping away all of the negative views of the book.
I'll be really
and only
shocked by
doing
that.
positive views. Only supporting the positive views of the book.
You know, I've determined if I'm going to buy any more books from anywhere or anything, you know, there's other sites besides Amazon. You know.
Yeah, or go to a local bookstore.
Yeah, that too.
Speaking of Hillary, she was plastered everywhere this week.
Oh yeah, she probably was plastered.
Jane Pauley, CNN, and Rachel Maddow promoting a book.
Do you know that Hillary bought a house next door to the White House that she was going to use?
Yeah, I saw that. That's great. That's great.
I mean, she was so confident, so arrogant to think that she was going to win the election that she decided to buy a house that.
Did you?
That is never going to be used, by the way. It's wasted.
Yeah. Hillary, you just give the house to President Trump and let him use it. Sell it to him. Mm-hmm. But did you see her interview with Jane Pauley?
I saw some of it. I
saw clips of it too.
I saw the clips that Mark Dice was playing.
Yeah, I saw clips too, and she went on the whole blame game, and she blamed white people. She literally said,
"Oh yeah,"
for that.
She's going around. She's blaming it. She's blaming everybody. She's even blaming her own constituents.
And here's what I'm like, bitch, you're white. So in reality, you're blaming yourself.
Yeah.
If you're blaming all white people, you're blaming yourself.
But she did say, and thank God for this, she's done being a candidate. She's finished. So she's not running again.
I don't believe that for one bit. I don't believe that for one bit. I really, really don't. She's like a zombie. She's not going to stop. But and then I saw.
Such is the claim that she's not going to run again. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If she's still alive in 2020, she'll run again. Even if she's hooked up on every single IV bag, if she's, bedridden in a hospital bed, she's going to run. But, and I saw some clips of her interview with Anderson Cooper, and she just looked insane.
Oh,
she looked crazy. Cooper? She looked out of it. Yeah, I saw some clips of that, because she was talking about alternative nose breathing, and then she was like, demonstrating it, and she looked whacked out, just absolutely whacked out.
Probably coked out of her mind.
Surprised me. But then compare, if you watch or just look at Hillary during the Anderson Cooper interview and her Rachel Maddow interview, two totally different Hillarys. You had one that's on Anderson Cooper, she's all bug out, strung out. And on Rachel Maddow, she was all laid back and relaxed, looked like they sedate her 50,000 times. I mean, jeez.
She is just yeah.
Also, before we end
this, see, we're supposed to be misogynists against her. See, if we call her a bitch, or if we call her this or that or whatever,
yep,
we're sexist. We're misogynists.
She's a bitch.
She is.
She is heartless. She is evil. And Laura Loomer, she went to the book signing and she documented everything. And her staff didn't even provide bottles of water for these people that was waiting hours to wait on her. Once Hillary, she came in an hour late, so she was probably getting drugged up somewhere. As soon as Hillary came in, she just sit down, didn't acknowledge the crowd, didn't say anything, just sat down and started signing books, started autographing books. That's it. And then they said there was a few ambulances come by to pick up a couple of people that was dehydrated.
See, there you go.
They didn't provide water. Nobody provided water for these people. And not even people that supported Hillary Clinton provided water for other Hillary Clinton supporters. See Trump supporters waiting hours and hours in line. You see them helping each other. You see them, give them water, asking if they're okay, and see if they're being dehydrated or not. I mean, you can see a parallel difference between the two.
Yeah. I mean, Hillary she doesn't care about anybody but herself.
Absolutely.
I mean, she is a bitch. I mean, she's something else, but I'm not going to say it because it's a family show. Yeah.
This is not a family show. We're beyond the point of it's a family show. Oh man, all right. But so this is happening right now. Black Lives Matter is rioting in St. Louis because of the whole verdict about the cop killing the black guy. Now they're burning American flags, they're blocking traffic in front of a children's hospital.
Bunch of lunatics.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, just absolutely. Yeah, these are sources funded. They know who's doing this. We know who's doing this. This is Soros funded right there. They're not Black Lives Matter people. They're Antifa people.
Yeah.
They're Antifa. They're Antifa all the way.
Oh yeah, they're definitely.
I mean, the Antifa people, they're like the Manchurian candidate. You say the buzzword racist, you say the buzzword sexist, they instantly get into this mindset that everything is racist, everything is sexist, and they have to destroy everything, build it, and rebuild everything. And that's what the Antifa people does.
Yeah.
And I'll go, and tomorrow night is my solo show, Mansplaining with Shane. And I'll talk about that Antifa and Black Lives Matter and the whole mature and candidate analogy. Because that's what they like. There's so much brainwash. The trigger word for them is racist. As soon as they hear the word racist, they go absolutely batshit insane.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, are we really shocked and surprised? I mean, what exactly happened? Okay, I guess it was a white cop shot a black individual who most likely, guess what, was probably doing something they weren't supposed to do, probably was not cooperating with the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, all you black people who want to try and be belligerent with the cops, guess what? If you cooperate, you won't get shot. Period.
Exactly. If it doesn't matter if you're black, white, whatever, if you cooperate, they'll cooperate with you. But if you're out and about,
do you know that statistically more white people have been shot by cops?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Statistically.
But the mainstream media won't tell you that because it doesn't fit their black and white narrative.
Mm-hmm. No, they want a race war. They want a race war. That's what they want. That's what the fake news media wants.
Yeah. And they don't. And the fake news media doesn't realize if they do get the race war, it's going to hurt the mainstream media more. It's going to help them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's pretty much it that happened this week.
Yep.
I think we covered everything. So on that note, tune in next week for another Not Mainstream. And we'll be discussing whatever happened next week. The news cycle.
If you just can't wait to see our charming faces, Wednesday night, we're back with Real or Not Real. We're going to be on an hour earlier, 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 8 o'clock.
Yep, we're going to examine.
We're going to examine a couple of videos, some photos, and hopefully we won't get copyright infringed again.
Yeah.
But next week, another Mainstream. We'll be discussing whatever happens in the constant 24-hour news cycle.
And
wait a minute. Oh. We forgot the big news. North Korea.
Oh yeah,
they launched another missile, and it went. I think it went close to Japan, over Japan. quite sure where, but it's in the vicinity of Japan.
I saw that.
Korea, they're pushing buttons right now.
Yeah, they are.
And I don't know what's going to happen.
And our president's like, bring it, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand what's going on with North Korea. China has the power to stop all that, but they don't want to do anything. And China explicitly stated that if Trump strikes North Korea, we're going to defend North Korea. And then we'll be out of war with China and North Korea. We don't need that. We don't need that at all.
Very true.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we can wake up tomorrow and nuclear war will happen.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going on with the crazy guy in North Korea.
Oh yeah.
And that's I mean.
So Shane, tell us about our busy October for Looking for Bigfoot News Hour.
Yeah. All right. So we've got a busy October with news hour, Bigfoot related stuff, not mainstream stuff, all that. So October 8th at 8 o'clock, Sunday, October 8th, 8 o'clock is going to be a news hour, Looking for Bigfoot News Hour. And Henry is going to be live in Texas at Shelly's house.
Yeah.
And he's going to give us the lowdown on the conference, the Texas Bigfoot Conference.
Yep.
And then that Wednesday night, we're going to do a Real or Not Real. We're going to dissect the PG film because of the 50th anniversary of the PG film. 50 years since that film has been taken.
Mm-hmm.
And then Not Mainstream is going to be October 6th. Ooh, a special Friday the 13th episode of Not Mainstream.
Yeah.
And then Not Mainstream on the 20th of October. And then we're going to do a late night news hour on October 21st at 11 o'clock, I think. 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
11 o'clock, late night news hour. And we're going to discuss, Henry's going to give us the lowdown.
It might be a little bit later than that. We might want to make it midnight your time.
Okay, that'd be fine. That'd be completely
fine.
Wait
a minute. No, wait a minute. Because the schedule for the events that Saturday is supposed to go to it's going to be late night. Well, it'll be
late night.
Yeah, it'll be very late night. So I mean, obviously you don't have anything to do on Sunday, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm free. I'm free.
Okay, cool.
So I mean, a late night news hour, and Henry's going to give us a lowdown on the PG 50th anniversary conference. And then Wednesday, October 25th, we're going to have a 5-year anniversary of Looking for Bigfoot. It's been 5 years since I've done the whole Looking for Bigfoot channel. And we're going to celebrate it. And we're going to look back and take a look back in time of all the news that we covered and all the stuff that we did. And then, that's the schedule for October. October is going to be, that's just 3 weeks away. I am so excited for October. I'm so excited for Halloween. I cannot wait for Halloween to get here.
Yeah.
And let's see here. So tune in next week for another Not Mainstream. If you can't wait and see us, like Henry said, tune in Wednesday night, the 20th, 8 o'clock for Real or Not Real on my other channel. And all the links to my other channels are in the description below. Oh, speaking of October, October is the month of the return of The Walking Dead, which means it is the return of the new show. Technically not new, but it's a spinoff, I guess you can call it. The Webcasting Dead, and that's going to be October 28th.
Yep.
Following the season premiere of The Walking Dead. So if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, or if you haven't watched The Walking Dead, I suggest you watch The Walking Dead, and then you instantly become a fan, and then you can watch us talk about The Walking Dead on October 28th at 8 o'clock.
We're going to have a new panelist on with us. So our audience already knows this panelist because she's usually on with us every Friday night. And that's where Amy is going to be.
Amy's going to be joining us along with Ellen, you, Henry, and me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great, and hopefully, yeah, it's going to be great. And we can't both sexist because we got 2 women on there. So yeah, we're not sexist people. In your face. Oh man, all right. So yeah, October 28th, the webcasting dad. Cannot wait for that. Cannot wait for the premiere. But yeah, next week, no, they're not mainstream. September 20th, 22nd, and then Wednesday 8 o'clock on the Looking for Bigfoot channel is the Real or Not Real. And like I said, all the channels from Breaking Bad cast and Looking for Bigfoot is in the description below. So I highly recommend that you click those and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. Make sure you click that bell icon because YouTube is censoring us. We cannot stress that enough. YouTube doesn't want you to watch this. They don't want you to watch this. So you have to be reminded that we go live every Friday night at 8. And then like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Antonio Sabata Jr. is following Politically Alternative Media.
Nice.
So he's following us. So why aren't you following us? Why aren't you? You know, if you love Antonio Sabata Jr.,
yeah,
he's following me on Twitter. That's great. So why aren't you following us on Twitter? And our Twitter handle is @PoliticallyAlt, ALT.
Yep.
We also are on BitChute. I've been uploading every single YouTube video that we've done in the past to BitChute. And yeah, and I was going to do it on vid.me. I've done a few videos on vid.me, but you have to be blue check certified where you can upload videos longer than 30 minutes. So when I first uploaded a couple of videos, they were longer than 30 minutes, and they had absolutely no problem with that. But then I uploaded another one, and they said, "Oh, it's too long. It's too long. There's a 30-minute limit." So I decided to do everything on BitChute now, and BitChute, and a lot of people is on there. It's a great alternative to YouTube. However, we still do YouTube because they're the only ones that does the live streaming.
Yeah.
And speaking of live streaming, I'll be live streaming tomorrow night on YouTube and Periscope with mansplaining with Shane. I came up with the name Mansplaining. It might get changed on down if I can figure out a better name, but I'm keeping it as Mansplaining. It's going to be in an expansion of Not Mainstream, and it's going to be basically heavy dose of conspiracy theories, of Alex Jones-like material, InfoWars-like material, I guess you can call it. And plus I'll, definitely discuss some stuff in the news that happened, give my thoughts and opinions that happen. And I'm sure tomorrow night is going to be a wild night, especially if St. Louis is going to have some more riots. I'll be covering that. And I think that's it on that note. Good on everybody. God bless America, and God bless President Donald Trump. And thoughts and prayers go out to the victims in the London terrorist attacks that happened earlier this morning. And our thoughts and prayers are still with the victims that were affected by the hurricanes in Florida, in Texas, in Louisiana, and all of the surrounding areas. Thanks for watching. See you next week.